wika kuduru tapi kanduru.
Instrumental.
Yeah, gala. Aluma kyambana. Yeah, gala. Aluma kyambana, mama kungwe chang kyambane di yongkya. Mong khơi chu chang kyambane di yongkya. Aluma kyala, mama ngwe kya no mogu donge. Aluma kyala, mama chu fumban. Che manjonge. Che bufwe. Woyo ngang mana. Woyo ngang kubale. Ngang mana lo apole. Kudabi kusamo kulema. Woyo ngang mana.
Kariam go. Ngamuna.
Joseph for being in tons and will that way. Oh, you zang, Saloma, no, oh, young girl. Oh, young girl. Don't do my dang to Dorothy in tons and will that way. Doctor Shu Joseph, Atanga in Tons and Willow and way. Joseph, Atanga, Zang, Saloma, no water, oh, young girl. Oh, young girl. Don't do my priest can go, Atanga in Tons and Willow and way. Doctor Wakanu, I made tons and willow that way. Doctor Tasu, Ivano in tons and willow that way. Ivan, President Man John Houston. Oh, you Zang, Saloma, no water, oh, young girl. Futu fubu kambin te krek cho funu kato. Ata te bola maten songono ya. Ata te bola maten songono ya. Boyo boronko boyo njang. Boyo boronko boyo njang. Futu fubu kambin te krek cho funu kato. Fukam tomo ule bi kweni shiwilingume. Fukame. Fukam tomo ule bi kweni shiwilingume. Fukame. Abang sa de kong no lo. Abang sa de kong no mate de bufule. Abang sa de kong no. Abang sa de kong no. Abang sa de kong no mate de bufule. Abang sa de kong no. Abang sa de kong no. Abang sa de kong no le. Abang sa de kong no mate de bufule. Abang sa de kong no. Sa de kong no le. Sa de kong no lo. Sa de kong no mate de bufule. Sa de kong no. Sa de kong no le. Sa de kong no mate de bufule. Sa de kong no. Sa de kong no. Sa de kong no le. Sa de kong no mate de bufule. Sa de kong no. Da Joseph Fobine, CEO, Da Manjong UAE. Da Charlie Tangcho, Bufu no dandang, ni Trambo ni dandang, ni Trambo dandang. Ulayo. Ngombele. Ngombele. Woyo ting ting bati ting ting. Ting ting bati ting ting. Ting ting bati ting ting. Woyo ting ting bati ting ting.
So here's a strategy I wish I knew 10 years ago, because the old rule for hitting a drop shot was to hit...
Futu fubu kambin te krek 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 chofuno kato. Ata te bola maten songono ya. Ata te bola maten songono ya. Boyo boronko boyo njang. Boyo boronko boyo njang. Futu fubu kambin te krek 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 chofuno kato.
Exclusively from ABT Entertainment.
Wabu foka kodoro tabi kandoro. Wabu nwika kodoro tabi kandoro.
Abstrumental.
Yeah, gala. Aluma kyambana. Yeah, gala. Aluma kyambana mama kungwe chang kyambane di yong kya. Mong koi tu chang kyambane di yong kya. Oluma kyala mama ngwe kya no moku donge. Aluma kyala mama chu fumban. Che manjonge. Che Bouffé. Woyo ngamona aya woyo ngakubale aya ngamona lo apole kundabi kusabo kulema woyo ngamona aya
chum chumo. Ifotimbapo ni Korea pin. Miaka we bona. Ifotiyaka. Mogamo ayabi chum chumo. Ifotimbapo ni Korea pin. Miaka we bona. Ifotiyaka. My beloved brother Lemo and sister fighting among ourselves. It's a very, very bad thing. Killing one another is not good at all. Or that we only render us homeless. Stealing, prostitution, gambling, drug addicts, and smokers. All you need is hard work to be like Lane Banda, to be like Colonel Wariwo. Mogamo, ayabi chom chomo. Ifotimbapo, ni Korea pin. Miaka, we bona. Ifotiyaka. Mogamo, ayabi chom chomo. Ifotimbapo, ni Korea pin. Miaka, we bona. Ifotiyaka. Divided we shall fall. Let's make Mogamo a good place to be. We only separate us, we only tear us apart. In the beginning, we were a single association with one goal for Tiaka. Let's be proud of our land, let's be proud of our land. Mogamo. Second, Madame Acharo, Mr. Dassi, Mr. Today,
Melodious produce.
Bahasi, much Arabuno.
My name is Sean Harper. I'm the CEO.
Mercy found me, grace is taking me through. Mercy found me, and grace is taking me through. Mercy found me, grace keeps me moving. Mercy found me, grace is taking me through. I am an overcomer, I inherit everything. I am an overcomer, I have won in Jesus' name. I am an overcomer, I inherit everything. I am an overcomer, I have won in Jesus' name. 1,000 may fall on my side, and 10,000 on my right side. He shall never, never come near me, because I have made the Lord my dwelling. Only with my eyes I will see and behold the reward of the wicked, because I have made the Lord my habitation. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all my days, because I have won in Jesus' name. I am an overcomer, I inherit everything. I am an overcomer, I have won in Jesus' name. I am an overcomer,
already.
MOG Kingdom.
All about the real deal.
It's Grand Vitex, the Kingdom Boy.
It's the piano sweetest.
Mama follow me. We go Mogamo, Jawanyeti. Papa follow me. We go Mogamo, Jawanyeti. Sister follow me. We go Mogamo, Jawanyeti. Brother follow me. You go Mogamo, Jawanyeti. Let me enjoy my yet. Let me enjoy my yet. Let me enjoy my yet. Yeah, let me enjoy my yet. 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 Yeah, let me enjoy my yet. Mama, hey, Papa, hey, Mama, follow me, follow, Papa, you follow me, follow, sister, you follow me, follow, everybody follow me, follow. Mogamo man is loving, Nixon Werenge. Mogamo man is caring. Mogamo man is loving. Mogamo man is caring. Wonderful Mogamo man, beautiful Mogamo man, intelligent Mogamo man, marvelous Mogamo man, wonderful Mogamo man, beautiful Mogamo man, intelligent Mogamo man, marvelous Mogamo man. Mogamo is the land, where you come, mama. Mogamo is the people. I am Bamba. Mogamo is the language. Mogamo is the culture. Mama follow me. We go Mogamo, Jawanyeti. Papa follow me. We go Mogamo, Jawanyeti. Sister follow me. We go Mogamo, Jawanyeti. Brother follow me. You go Mogamo, Jawanyeti. Let me enjoy my yet. Let me enjoy my yet. Let me enjoy my yet. Yeah, let me enjoy my yet. 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 Yeah, let me enjoy my yet. Ma Armstrong, alias Momo, Mogamo international footballer. Ayanebe, Mama follow me. We go Mogamo, Jawanyeti. Papa follow me. We go Mogamo, Jawanyeti. Sister follow me. We go Mogamo, Jawanyeti. Brother follow me. We go Mogamo, Jawanyeti. Let me enjoy my yet. Let me enjoy my yet. Let me enjoy my yet. Yeah, let me enjoy my yet. 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 Yeah, let me enjoy my yet. Mogamo of many villages. Villages with Jafonso, Besi, Mogamo, Kuza, Mogamo, Asho, Mogamo, Inyo, Mogamo, Tiben, Mogamo, Kukwe, Mogamo, Kuruku, Mogamo. mogamunjo wanyeti. Papa follow me. We go mogamunjo wanyeti. Sister follow me. We go mogamunjo wanyeti. Brother follow me. We go mogamunjo wanyeti. Let me enjoy my yet. Let me enjoy my yet. Let me enjoy my yet. Yeah. Let me enjoy my yet. 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 Yeah. Let me enjoy my yet. This is Sibang. Together for excellence. Mogamo Express. King of the road. Mofak fan club. Oh yeah. Mama follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me. Yeah. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
It's the piano's rhythms.
Work and play without delay.
Then it's smart. Muna king fanja. Usari maribo. Wose se ku Joseph Woraboy. 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 That concept grand ago. Mukuba. Bate. Mechi. Peter Eno. Ancien driver. Ogbeno. Murukwo. Aquaticaba. Eyon Atem. Ogbeno. Aquaticaba. Arremoni. Ogbeno. Tonken Batam. Aquaticaba. Etingenen Supadi. Ogbeno. Murukwa. Seseku Joseph Woraboy. Ogbeno. Bene Mangante. Mama Anekura. Mama Ogbeno. Benbe. Abene UK. Ini Simara Kaleka. Ema Benbe.
Mangot, the tiger that dies but stays alive. Seseku engineer Atamuno. Eyambambe Moya, my spiritual father. Chief Professor Abotabi, forever in our hearts. His Excellency Victor Mengot, the White Tiger. Nampo. Uchimo manwa bonga kame pemetoa. Bonga kame pemetoa. Uchimo manwa bonga kame pemetoa. Sweet mother, honorable Rosabora, mother of power. His Royal Highness Seseku Biaraga of Okoyong Village. Seseku Mbembison Valeria yo Mafeta. Mama beno ngomoni kimi, botata mama no basinjo me wo yo. Beng Ivis, Junaya Properties, Searchlight Schools, botata mama no Afosma. Mama beno ngomoni kimi, botata mama no basinjo me wo. Wo ponga top no, wo manyo. Mama beno ngomoni kimi, botata mama no basinjo me wo yo. Seseku Eyom Kola Yobe, Father of all, Campus, se kusumbre. Oh no, você se como oh, você se vai amba. Oh, você se como oh, amane kunde. Você se como Seseku ayonta. Gentleman. Você se como Akwali kaba. What would Arab money. Oh no! Abudi Dada Aso Akime. A young guy. Chief Dr. Waters, Enobison, Zidan, USA. Professor Hamilton Ayub, Jesus Man, the philanthropist. DJ Manas, Chief Dr. Obong Tree of Sweden. Tanditi Kubaye, Deje Nasla, Maxime Manor, Bangakamari, você se foi a
Good afternoon, fellow Ambazonians. Good afternoon. This 14th day of January 2025. 2025. We're in the new year. New year, first episode of the War Zone this 2025. It's a pleasure having you with me on the set of the War Zone right here on ABS TV. We're starting this year. Of course, there's a lot that's been happening in our liberation movement. And unfortunately, towards the end of last year, we were not able to cover all of the events that were happening. But we are back now. We are back, and we're doing pretty well, as you can see. And we will be doing our best to bring you the coverage of everything that's happening in this struggle and around the globe. Again, today is Tuesday, January the 14th. And it's a pleasure having you with me here this Tuesday. Let me go straight to some announcements that I would like to make here. I believe you all must have listened to, or you must have got some information about a certain, I think it's North Francis, that was supposedly betraying our fighters and our citizens in Nigeria. This information came to us, and it looked credible. I did not cover it because I wanted to find out to know exactly if that was true. But it is turning out that this may have been an attempt at blackmail. That it may have been an attempt at blackmail. That a young man from whom money was borrowed was now being blackmailed by those who borrowed money from him, and they wanted him eliminated. So please, I'm sending this information so that we don't consume this misinformation, this attempt at blackmail that could may have caused this young man's life. Let us be cautious. Let us do our findings. We're cautioning our restoration fighters on the ground that when you receive this information, please do not target this young man. He may have been victimized by people who took money from him and are trying to blackmail him so he can be eliminated and so that they can keep his money. I'm just bringing this so that you know. So I send this message around to save this young man's life. Now, fellow Ambazonians, we told our Republic that if they are insisting on holding on to us Ambazonians, then we will bring them down. Of course, we have seen how our restoration fighters have continued to demonstrate their determination and the ability to bring punishment to bear on the criminal soldiers of La Republique Cameroon, who continue to violate our territorial boundaries and coming into our territory to do criminal activities. And within the past weeks and even days, we have seen the performance of our brave warriors from Boyo. We saw what happened in Boyo, where one of them was taken down and his material was taken. We've seen what the Unity Warriors have continued to do. They continue to perform consistently, and we cannot praise them enough and appreciate them enough for what they are doing. We encourage you, and we pray for you that you continue to stand your ground. Ambazonia belongs to you. It is your land, and it is your responsibility to fight and take it from those who thought they could seize it from us illegally. Again, we have seen what happened even in Bamenda. Bamenda, that used to be very quiet, is not quiet anymore. We've seen actions in Bamenda. We've seen actions in Bafut. We've seen actions in Bafut where I think 3 La Republique Cameroon, I think even a 4th one died in the hospital, and a lot of material was taken from them. Great job, our fighters in Bafut. And we've seen, we also saw what happened in Akwaya. We saw what happened in Akwaya, where a good number of them were deleted. They were saying that we're borrowers from Nigeria. I don't know what business borrowers from Nigeria will have to come into our territory to engage La Republique Cameroon fighters. I believe that job was done by our restoration fighters, but La Republique being ashamed of the disgrace And one thing that stood out was the fact that La Republic Cameroon was not even able to go there and collect the bodies of their dead soldiers. They allowed them to rot in the forest. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that they allowed the bodies of their soldiers to rot in the forest? That's how much value they accord the lives of these La Republic Cameroon soldiers. They don't care about them. They use them as disposables because most of the soldiers of La Republic, especially those that go to the front, are recruited from the very poorest of the families. They're very poor. So when they send you out, they know you go there, maybe you'll be blown up. They don't care. They continue to get their money, sacrifice you, get their money. I don't know why these boys keep going out there. Whatever they are giving them, sometimes they don't even get as much as 100,000 colonial francs a month. They go there and sacrifice themselves to be blown to pieces for no reason. I think you'd rather be poor than to go and give your life for such meager compensation. Even just yesterday, we saw what happened in Furawa. They came up, we saw the pictures of what they did there. We have decided not to be putting our fighters again out there to expose them. I think that was a mistake we did in those early days. We will no longer expose them, their pictures and so on, so that the enemy can go after them. So we will report these things, but we will refrain from showing their pictures. That's a new strategy now. So we will not show their pictures, but you've seen all the images on social media. So they are there for you. Those who want to see them, you can see them. And now, again, much appreciation to our restoration fighters. Please, we thank you. We appreciate you. Continue to do what you are doing. You're doing it for your homeland. Again, Ambazonia is your land. If you don't fight and take it, nobody will do it. You see what the Ukrainians are doing. They are fighting and standing their ground because that is the only way to survive in this world today. That is the only way. You have to be able to defend yourself. If you are waiting for someone else to do it, you should be prepared to be a slave. No one will come and defend you for free. So you have to be able to defend your own selves. That is the only way to survive in this world today. As we have started, as compared to those days when our forefathers, Endele, Foncha, and the others, when Ahijo simply marched into our territory, they did not have the weapons to defend themselves. That is why we are where we are today. Now that we have started and we are building, we have to continue building and improving until we reach a point where we can defend our territorial boundaries. That's the only way. Because if we let it go again, then we are completely finished. We are completely finished. And that cannot be the case. It cannot happen. Now, I'm supposed to be joined on the set today by Chairman Patrick. Chairman Patrick is supposed to be joining me. Also, I'm expecting Summer Thomas. I know I tried reaching him earlier, but I couldn't get him. He's probably still getting ready. But I hope he can get himself ready to join us on the set today. But Chairman Patrick is standing by, waiting for me to bring him in. So, Chairman Patrick, if you are there, please, can I see you? Chairman Patrick? Okay. Good to see you. Can you say hello to our viewers?
Thank you so much, Chairman Mike, and good afternoon to every Ambazonian and everybody out there who's a sympathizer to the cause. And I just want to say this is a decisive year for the Ambazonian revolution. So my goal and everybody's goal should be the same, to see that we cross the finish line in 2025. And thank you. Let's have a good show. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And just another point before we begin, as I was saying about our restoration fighters, I think for the rest of our fighters who are all over the territory, they are everywhere. This year, 2025, is the year of that we have the opportunity to completely turn this thing around. The quagmire that is happening in La Republic du Cameroon shows that if wherever you are, this is the time to sharpen your arsenal Make sure that you revise your tactics. Make sure you are ignoring the enemy and go after them relentlessly with everything you have got. Go after them relentlessly. This is the time to finish this thing and end it once and for all. We cannot let 2025 go by again without us closing this thing. So I'm encouraging those who have been fighting, you have been seeing what your colleagues have been doing. Emulate their examples. If you don't know how to get around doing it, learn from them, call them, ask them how they are doing it. If you need some skills, ask them, they will easily share them with you so you too can perform the same. So, and we have always encouraged La République du Cameroon soldiers who continue to be sacrificed. We are encouraging you to drop your weapons at any amber camp and they will give you safe passage to wherever you want to go. Again, we don't pretend like those who have been deceived to go and sit in the so-called DDR center and they are languishing there for no reason. La République du Cameroon soldiers, we are telling you, drop your weapons at any amber camp and they will give you safe passage to wherever you are going. They are very understanding. Coordinate with our defense commanders and they will give you safe passage. That is the message to La République du Cameroon soldiers. Do not continue sacrificing yourself for a criminal regime that does not care about you. They don't care about you. Okay, into the story now. The first story of the day, Chairman Patrick. We saw a certain caricature. They said it was Paul Biya. I don't believe it was Paul Biya. I think it was more of, I don't know what it is, what it was, but I don't think that was Paul Biya that we saw on the eve, New Year's Eve, making a speech. I think it was more like a hologram of Paul Biya or a picture of Paul Biya that was manipulated to act like it was alive. Because, and I will explain why. Because when you look at this picture in front of you here, fellow comrades, I want to point out a few things that make me believe that this was not Paul Biya alive making this speech, or healthy enough and standing there making this speech. I believe this was Paul Biya's picture that was AI manipulated to give the semblance of life, but this is not his live picture, and I'll explain to you. I'll explain to you why I'm saying this. I want you to look at the way the picture or the body moves. Look at the way the body moves. Look at the edges of the body. It looks like a picture that has been cut out, and there's someone there who is just making it shake, and there's a semblance of a hand that is moving, which is not real. Everything there looks fake. Everything there looks fake. There's no facial expression. There's no facial expression. The only place that actually moves is just around the mouth. Look at it. That's the only place that is moving, around the mouth. Nothing else moves. Everything else around the face is just fixed. No movement. The only place that moves is around the mouth. You have seen pictures that have been used to manipulate and make it look like somebody's talking. That is what they used here. And I will show you the one thing that stands out. You see the body is very stiff movement of the body. Then the one very critical thing which I want every person who is listening, every person who is watching, look at the eyes. Look at the eyes. Fellow ambassadors, those our viewers who are watching, when you look at the eyes of Paul Biya, anybody who is watching, try to keep your eyes open for 1 minute without blinking. Try to keep your eyes open for 1 minute without blinking. It is a difficult thing to do because the eyes will spontaneously blink every few seconds because the eyes need to be wet And when you blink, you clean the eyes and refresh them so that you can continue to see. When you don't blink, your eyes become dry and it becomes difficult for you to see. But look at Paul Bia's eyes; they are just fixed. The eyes are not blinking. It's not me saying it. Look at the eyes; they don't blink. Look at him there. Do you see him blinking? He's not blinking. Because that is a picture. When they manipulated the mouth, they forgot about the eyes. And then from time to time, I think when I watched his speech was like 2 or 3 times that they managed to make the eyes blink because they are doing it manually. They are doing it manually. That's why the eyes are not blinking enough. And I'm challenging anyone who is watching here. Try to keep your eyes open for 1 minute and see how difficult that is. For 1 minute, look at how long has the speech been going. He is yet to blink. The eyes are not blinking because that is a manipulated picture. That wasn't Paul Biya live speaking. And that is the evidence I have. You see, I looked at this thing, and if you doubt what I'm saying, if you doubt what I'm saying, zoom in on the picture. You people have this video of Paul Biya's speech. Zoom in on the picture and actually look at the eyes for about 5 minutes and see how many times Paul Biya blinks. Look at the eyes for about 5 minutes and see if it blinks up to 2 times, because that thing is being physically manipulated. It was a picture. It wasn't Paul Biya live. Chairman Patrick, I don't know. Am I making sense here, or is my forensic analysis not on point? Because I looked at this thing several times and it just didn't look real. And I went again and I watched this thing and I zoomed in on those eyes and I saw exactly what I saw there. The eyes very fixed. Was that Paul Biya alive or was it something else?
Well, Chairman Mike, when I watch La Republique playing these games, I know nothing like this will ever go forever. For years, we know that it's a ghost that is ruling that country. We understand very clearly that these people are playing these games to buy time so that they can figure out exactly what they need to do. So that image you are showing there is a clear indication that they had to spend some money on the AI to make sure they have something standing there, because they do not have any excuse to say that Paul Biya was not able to make a speech on New Year's Day. So they created that image just to show a semblance of a human being still running the country. There are so many indications. When was the last time there was a cabinet reshuffle in that country? When was the last time there was a governor was transferred? When was the last time there was any appointment in that country? This is to show that everybody has taken their position and said we have to hide this thing and keep our jobs. And that is what they have been doing. They have all agreed that if you transfer me, if you move me as a minister, I'm spilling the beans. So there is, and then the one worst part of it is you can see it from the face of Chantal Biya. This is somebody that was always very vibrant when she goes out on any occasion. But if you look at her image the past few days, if you see her somewhere, she looks like somebody that is mourning. She has been mourning her husband for a long time. They can use every AI. We know the age that we are in. We know that you can use artificial intelligence to create anything you want to create. You've seen every day they show Donald Trump dancing with Joe Biden. You've seen Donald Trump wearing female clothes doing stuff. That is just the work of the AI. But the reality is 2025 is a decisive year that these guys will come out and tell Cameroonians or the people of their country who is ruling that country. Because he has to go out to campaign, as he said he was going to run. He has to go somewhere and campaign. He's not going to sit in the office and campaign.
In La Republique de Cameroon, anything goes. You know, that's a place where anything goes. The things that happen in that country do not happen anywhere else. Paul Biya, if he wants to run, he can run and put another ghost image like the one we have just seen. And at the end of the day, that ghost picture will win, and nobody will even see him on the street campaigning. You remember the last time they said he came back from abroad, and we saw someone at the airport just standing there talking to Ngongo, and after that we only saw a tiny hand in a limousine out of a window. His face was not even visible, and since then we have not seen him again to today. And that is why I'm asking, where in the world is Paul Biya? Where exactly is Paul Biya? Nobody knows. And Chairman Patrick, as you have rightly said there, calling the name of Chantal Biya. As we know right now, it is Chantal Biya who is now the president of La République du Cameroon. But the sad thing there is that Chantal Biya, as we know, is a brainless creature. Somebody out there that does not have a brain. So she is now using Ngongo's brain, but she is the president, because if you look at recent images of occasions that normally will be chaired by Paul Biya, it is Chantal Biya standing there, and their so-called ministers are standing behind her. I mean, she is not doing it in her own capacity as who or as what in that so-called government. So she is the one leading that failed state. And for someone like Chantal Biya, I don't know, Chairman Patrick, have you ever heard that woman making a speech anywhere? Have you ever seen Chantal Biya making a speech? Have you ever heard her voice being able to coherently deliver a message that makes sense anywhere? Since for how many years that that woman has been Paul Biya's wife? Where have you seen Chantal Biya delivering a speech that makes sense? And to entrust a whole nation in the hands of such an empty head, is it any surprise that the place is falling apart? Chairman Patrick.
Well, Chairman Mike, speaking of Chantal Biya, is like what I said earlier, they have a few people that have just taken the country hostage. Chantal Biya has never spoken where, even at the Unity Palace where they go there to give her motion of support every year. She's never addressed these ladies who come there and pop champagne with her. The only thing you've seen her do is, in those days when she was happy when her husband was still alive, was out there laughing. You can only hear her laugh. She's never said a word that somebody can say, oh, she's even talking or she's giving directives. But they talk of Chantal Biya Foundation. They talk of all kind of humanitarian things that she's doing. Even a day in Cameroon has now been in her honor where the people wear all kind of clothes. But never have you seen her even address the women that are buying all the pieces of cloth that they are buying on behalf of Chantal Biya. So that is a country that is in ruin. We just want to tell Amazonians that this year is our year to take over our territory. We are not going to keep looking at what they are doing down there because they know they don't have any iota of a future in that territory.
Yes, when we say this, there are some images or some videos of Chantal Biya in her famous way of going around. That is all. You only see her there, like you're saying, smiling and doing these very funny things. You don't see her doing anything serious, okay? That is who she is. What they call here a bimbo. That's all she is. And the increased frustration that you see in that country now, where you see even the bishops are now becoming very vocal because the suffering is very, very apparent. The people are suffering. Even Republican Cameroon citizens are suffering. That's why you see some bishops are getting really frustrated. And I think one even said it's better for a devil to take over power in that country than for Paul Biya to continue to be there. And that is why we want them from the start when this conflict between their country and the Southern Cameroons and Brazilians started. We said, look, you may think that we are the only ones that will suffer the consequences of this very poor action. That at the end of the day, your own people will feel it because we have been draining them economically. Their soldiers have been dying, and the economy is in shambles. The government is just non-existent. The succession to Paul Biya is nobody knows who will take over from him. So the future is bleak, and the bishops are beginning to see the handwriting on the wall, and that's why some are beginning to speak out. So, as you rightly said, we are not saying this because we are interested in what is happening in La Republic of Cameroon, but we are just highlighting these things so that for those of our comrades who, for one reason or the other, thought that maybe we didn't have a chance, they should realize that this is the year of our opportunity. The things that were waiting to happen there are beginning to happen. We knew very well that we will never win La Republic of Cameroon militarily, but we knew that if we held them long enough, they will fall apart because they will no more have any money to finance this very stupid war that Paul Biya declared on us. And that is beginning to happen. It's beginning to happen. And as long as we hold our lines and continue to move on and to defend our territory, the next thing is that you start seeing more and more of their soldiers dropping their weapons and running away, or they will turn around and face their own government back home. That is what is going to happen if the Republic does not wise up and come to the negotiation table. So I don't know if I have anything else to say about this before we transition to the next topic, Chairman Patrick.
Well, one thing I'm going to add to what you just said about the bad nature of the country is the fact that there have been clear evidence. A clear evidence is the situation that happened in Akwaya, where the La Republique military were killed, and nobody cared to go pick up the bodies. So that is an indication that the country is in total shambles. They've never done that. So this is the moment for us to wake up and take the bull by the horn, because we cannot let this advantage, this opportunity go by. They have demonstrated that they do not even have the money, they don't have the manpower, they don't even have the dedication for their country anymore. Those fighters were not there alone. They had backup, they had a plan for backup, but nobody wanted to step foot in that area. So if Ambazonia can move just an inch forward like we are planning, La Republique will start, they will spark and leave our territory. So this is our moment, this is our year. And I believe those who are dedicated for this fight will do what we are all working towards in the nearest future.
Exactly. And that is what we are telling our fighters, that this is the time to re-strategize. This is the time to really retool and go back, put on your thinking caps and do some resourcing and come up with strategies. Sometimes these things, the things that you can do to take these people down are not that expensive, but you just have to be creative. You have to be creative. You, as a fighter, you have to always be thinking of opportunities that you can use to take advantage of the enemy. You have to be calculating the enemy's movements, see where they are going, where they are eating, where they get water. You know when they are getting their equipment, where they are getting fuel, whatever they are getting, you know how to target them and get them where they least expect you. That's what you should be doing. And our fighters should be on top of the game right now. By now, they should be all seasoned and know their terrain and know what to do. I can't sit here and give them, tell them everything that they're supposed to know, but I'm just giving them a hint of the fact that this is the time for them to re-strategize and know that there are opportunities for them out there to take advantage of. And now, Chairman Patrick, when we talk about leaders in Africa, there is hope right now in Africa because there is a new crop of leaders coming up, a new crop of leaders who are different from what we have known this far. And I'm talking about the likes of Captain Traore of Burkina Faso. and his colleagues of Mali and Niger. Yes, we are talking about people like that, and I'm very hopeful about the new elections that just took place in Ghana. I think the guy in Ghana may align with those in the Sahel to do what is right for their own people. Because you remember Akufo, who used to be the former president of Ghana, who just left, that guy was a traitor. That guy was a traitor. He was campaigning for the West to come and attack Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali for standing up for their people. Can you imagine that? That guy was a sellout. And I'm glad that he is gone. And the new guy that has come in seems to have a new attitude. So I'm here. I want us to focus on Captain Traore for today. When you see wherever this guy goes, wherever he goes, he brings out crowds. The population is very excited to see him. So I'm asking here, what is it about Captain Traore that makes him so admired, so loved, not just by his own citizens, but by the whole African continent? Chairman Patrick, I can assure you that if this guy, Captain Traore, if they said, all right, the whole Africa should come together and conduct an election for a new leader, and he was able to present his candidacy for that election, he may certainly emerge as the leader of Africa at this time, because he has everything that we need. He has the courage. He is patriotic. His decisions are people-centered. He knows exactly what is needed to give Africa the dignity that it deserves. So I wanted to make your first comments about this. I would like for us to see certain images of Captain Traore wherever he goes, and the reaction of the crowds wherever he goes. Chairman Patrick, if you have something to say before we bring up those videos.
So, Chairman, my one thing that I have seen is the fact that Africans are growing up. The youths of Africa are now realizing that these old guys who have been holding Africa hostage had no future for their continent. If you look at what this Traore is doing, he has demonstrated that his people come first. The African continent comes first. And he has not, for once, cared about flying to America, flying to London and all those other places to ask for help. He is looking for people that will give him development, not people that will give him money. He did not go to Russia to borrow money. He went there and got equipment for electricity, farming, and all those kind of things. So that is a visionary leader. He's young. He has too many years down there to live. So he is looking at, how do I retire one day in a country that I will love? He's not looking at his grave the next day. So one thing that the courage of Traore has already brought in the Sahel and even most of West Africa is, look at, for the past 2 years, Senegal, that was a staunch French ally. They lost elections. The young guys there, they came in and they said, we do not want French military in our territory. The same thing went down to Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast has been a staunch supporter of France. They just kicked out the French military at the end of December. Chad, the French president flew to Chad to install an illegal president, but the illegal president has turned his back on him by telling the French military, you need to get out. So this is a moment for Africans that they are waking up and they have a plan to move things forward. When we saw the images last week of the cache of ammunition in northern Cameroon, in northern part of La Republique, that should be a message to La Republique to think twice about what they are doing, because their day is coming. Their days are numbered. is not going to be business as usual.
No, it won't. It won't. And we saw the French president acting out of frustration and castigating the leaders of some African states, the so-called francophone states that are not aligning or that they are not appreciative of the fact that they came in and fought terrorism when they are the ones that are sponsoring terrorism on the African continent to counter those leaders that they don't like. And they are saying they should be appreciative that they were fighting terrorism. No, these people don't want you to come and fight any terrorism. For example, Captain Traore is defeating the terrorists without the help of France. So why are they insisting? If somebody does not want your help, why are you insisting to give him help? They don't want to. So what they are doing is actually the right thing. And France's legs are wobbling. They can't gain they can't feel their feet on the ground, and it is beginning to happen. And what is happening with what started with these three countries, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, is becoming contagious. You see, others are beginning to see the admiration that the citizens of those countries have for their leaders, and they are seeing the result that they are getting. For example, the exploitation of what was that again? For this mineral that was coming out of Burkina Faso or Niger, that France was simply taking for free, and they renegotiated the price and are getting making a kill out of it now, and their citizens will benefit. So that is the way it's supposed to be. But the question is this, Chairman Patrick, what is it about this leader that people like so much? What is it about Traore? We know that he's patriotic. We know that he is very patriotic. We know that he loves his people and he is admired by the same people and even by the whole of Africa. So, but why is he so admired? But as much as he is admired, he is dreaded by the imperial hates his guts, and that is why they have tried several times to kill him without success. We saw the bags of money that were brought in, that were seized not long ago by Burkina Faso intelligence services, money that was supposed to be used to stir up trouble and overthrow Captain Traore, but they seized that money and it is sitting in the Burkina Faso treasury right now, helping to carry out developmental projects that will benefit the people. But why is he so admired? He is a true servant of the people. That's one of the reasons. He is actually a true servant of his people. He loves his people genuinely. It's not this fake thing that you see. It's not this fake thing that you see Paul Biya doing there. He will disappear for how many months, go and then come back and pretend like he is doing anything at the airport, that he's meeting his people at the airport, and not even be humble enough to go shake people's hands or greet people when he comes back. He is very patriotic. He is also very courageous. Very courageous. What he is doing, some of these so-called leaders in Africa will piss in their pants. They will not be able to do what he is doing because they are more interested in being alive and squandering the money that they steal. He is very patriotic. He is not corrupt. He is not corrupt. He has the interest of his people at heart. That's one of the reasons. Captain Traore truly loves his people. He truly loves his people. That was him. That was the image you are seeing here is when he went to Ghana for the inauguration of president, for the inauguration of a new president. You could, when I'm done making these statements, I would like for us to watch these videos so that you can get the sound and hear the uproar from the crowd, the admiration, the praise that they are giving him from the crowd. You see, his are people-centered, as I've said. He's a humble, honest leader, very honest and humble, and he keeps his word. So, as I said earlier, If there was an election in Africa today for a president, I'm very sure that Captain Traore will come up on top. I'm very sure that if there was an election today to select a president, Captain Traore will emerge as president because he has all of the good qualities of a good leader. And like I said on the flyer that I shared earlier, it's like Thomas Sankara incarnate. Like Thomas Sankara came back through Captain Traore, and I could not be more proud at this moment in Africa that at least we have a glimmer of hope that this new crop of leaders may may, may encourage other countries and the youth of other countries to rise up and get rid of these old sick-tied puppets that are continuing to pave the way for imperialists to exploit the African continent while our own people suffer and languish in misery. Some dying in the desert trying to cross to Europe, some dying in the jungles of Mexico trying to get to America. This nonsense has to end because we have enough resources in our own soil to take care of our people. But all we need is good management, good management. So again, on Captain Traore, I don't know if the studio can play us those at least two or so of those videos. Let's just see the reaction from the people when this guy appears. The electricity among the crowd is just it's fever pitch. These people just love him wherever he goes. And recently, I don't know if you watched that video, where a Ghanaian, after he attended the inauguration of their president, a Ghanaian young man said, the Burkina Faso people should be very careful the next time they allow their president to come to their country, because when the next time he comes, they will abduct him and make him their own president. They will seize him and make him their own president in their own country, because that's how much they love him. That is how much they love him. And it was very funny, but it spoke to the admiration that Africa has. We have been yearning for a long time for leaders like this. And I hope others will see the admiration and copy his example. Can we have the audio?
Of Guinea Conakry. And after him, we have the Prime Minister of Gabon. After him, we have His Excellency Mamadi Doumbouya, who is the President of Guinea Conakry. And after him, we have the Prime Minister of Gabon. After him, we have His Excellency Mamadi Doumbouya, who is the President of Guinea Conakry.
All right. You see, we saw also when he went to Niger. He went to Niger, and the crowds came out, and the admiration they had for him was even more than that they had for their own president, you know. And there was another video where even the newly installed president of Ghana was saying that when he was standing there with Traore in another video, I was saying you could see the crowds that he pulls, and then the admiration that he has, even from Ghanaian citizens, how much they love him. So I just thought that we should highlight this and show a clear difference. Imagine, Chairman Patrick, imagine Captain Traore standing somewhere and Pobia is standing there, and people are asked to pick which leader they prefer. How many people do you think will fall under Pobia, and how many people will fall under Traore? So that's the difference. That's the difference. I don't know what you have to say about this, but I just wanted these pictures to speak for themselves. Chairman Patrick, are you there?
Yes, Chairman Mike, I'm here.
Yes, I just wanted to also see, that's just one of the pictures, but there are several of them. If you go on YouTube, you see wherever he goes, the crowds come out, they are so excited. They just want to have a glimpse of him. And it is not because of how much money he has stolen and stashed away. That's not why they love him. They don't love him because he has killed the most people. They don't love him because he has stolen the most money and stored away in foreign banks. That's not why they love him. They don't love him because he's corrupt or because he's tribalistic. They love him because they see that this person is genuine. He truly loves his people. He cares about the plight of his people. He's trying to lift the living standards of his people. He keeps his word. You see him most of the time talking with even school children, students, encouraging them, showing them the light, not just by his actions, but by his words. The things he tells them, how they should think, how they should see the world. And the people just love him. And I hope that God will continue to protect him and not allow for the evil ones to take him out like they did to Sankara. So please go ahead with your comments.
So, Chairman Mike, that is what it takes to be the leader of a country. One thing that the Traore has done is the fact that he did not come in and started buying the expensive cars. He drove his own car to occasions. He made himself available to the people. He told the people, we are going to do this together. And that is what a leader is. As a leader, you are making your people to be better, not you to be better. He is trying to make sure the lives of the people of Burkina Faso are better. So Traore has demonstrated exactly what Africa needs. He did not start by saying we need to buy the best planes, we need to buy this. He started saying we want to start from the grassroots. Agriculture. Agriculture is something that Africans have the fertile land, but the only thing is there's zero vision for the mechanization of the agricultural sector. So he started from down there, and that is when he met the common man on the street, the peasant farmer, and gave them equipment so that they can make their lives better. So this guy has already demonstrated that he is a patriot, and every African have that in their minds. That is why they love him everywhere they go. Wherever he stands, people want to see that this is a person that wants to be like me, wants us to get better tomorrow. I'm telling you,
even non-citizens of Burkina Faso, they yearn to have him as their leader. Yes.
When he went to Guinea, one of these Niger, he walked on the street with Niger president. I'm sure the Niger president was so surprised because he had never seen anything like that. The population came out at mass because the people just wanted to see this young man. He became president about 2 years ago or so. You've never seen him in a suit. If you look at his background, he's first of all an intelligent guy. He studied geology in college. He has a degree in geology. I have read about this guy a little bit to understand where his mentality is. This is somebody who understands agriculture. He understands the soil. He understands from his military background, he understands leadership. And he has not changed from the day he was a military guy to be president. So the reality here is Burkina Faso was a country that already had those minds that wanted to see a better country for their people. Thomas Sankara came. He did everything. He was taking this country to the next level. But the colonial masters did not like that. The enemies were so frustrated.
To your point, the thing there which a lot of Africans fail to understand is that your own development must start with your own self-sufficiency. You must strive to be able to produce those things that are basic, that are needed for the basic survival of your own people. and that includes those basic needs like things like food, even food like rice, for example, like in La Republic or in the southern Cameroons, we are importing rice when we can produce good rice right back home. We import rice. Can you imagine that? So we saw another video where he was providing tractors to the farmers to be able to help them in their production, in their agricultural production, and giving specialists who will be advising these farmers on the various farm techniques that they can use to have a higher yields. That is what you need. You have to be able to feed your population and then go into production, producing your own things. That's how China came up to be where it is today. When China started, they were making their cheap goods, right? But we were laughing that, oh, China cheap goods. See, China now is knocking on the door of the United States to overthrow the United States as the richest country. You have to be able to produce your own stuff. When you keep buying from outside, there's no way you can develop. You have to be able to produce your own stuff. And that is what he is doing, and that is what any good leader who hopes to have a developed country must learn to produce your own stuff and then sell to get a hard currency. So those are the things that he is doing, and I really admire him for that. And I wish that more Africans can follow his example, because that's the only way you. Because what the imperialists did was they came into Africa and they were encouraging us to invest in cash crops. They encourage you to invest in rubber, tea, coffee, all those things that we don't even consume. Things we don't consume. Palm oil, the kind of palm oil or palm oil that is produced in, say, CDC, our people don't even consume it. We don't even see it because it just lives there and goes out. We don't see the one that is produced in CDC. So the things that we were encouraged to invest in are things that are not consumed at home. Meanwhile, we neglected the production of rice. We neglected the production of corn and other things that we need. There are crops that I used to know growing up that went extinct because of disease. Nobody cared to investigate or to find out or to try to resolve those issues, and those crops have gone extinct. Like some yams that I grew up knowing, they are not there anymore. But the government was encouraged to invest in things that are not directly helping our people. And when the money that is gotten from these rubber and stuff is stolen, it has now no impact on our people. That we must change this mentality and invest, first of all, in the things that our people need. When you eat and you are healthy, then you can now invest in the cash crops, which we don't even see how it's helping us now. So that is the mentality that we must change. We don't invest in even the cattle production that some of our people have been doing. They're doing it locally. There's no help. There's no help to make sure that they can produce better cows or whatever it is. Or even chicken. Why are we still importing chicken from outside? Why should we be importing chicken when we have a vast land that can produce? We can set up poultry that can produce enough chicken for our people. So these are things that we have neglected, and it should not be the case. Chairman Patrick.
Well, what you are saying is exactly what has been the problem with Africa. Like, you just gave some example about the production of cash crops in Africa. We were working for the colonial masters. We were not working for Africans. If you look at coffee, the first time I had a cup of coffee was when I traveled overseas. Our people produce this coffee. Our parents suffered to produce coffee. They never had a chance to even know how the coffee tastes like. They don't even know that people drink coffee. They thought it was some magic.
Cocoa? You produce cocoa, but you don't even have any processing for chocolate.
But today, if you see What this guy in Burkina Faso have done is starting from down there, making sure the people have enough food so that they can sell some out. And before you know it, Burkina Faso is going to be the Dubai of Africa, because this guy is looking at his country. He is producing the minerals in Burkina Faso, are giving them the cash to buy the equipment they need. One mistake that African leaders have done is when they go out to the World Bank or to their colonial masters to borrow money, instead of thinking, why don't we get the equipment that we can give our people to produce? They want cash so that they can be able to embezzle.
Because the intention there is to steal. It's not to improve the lives of the people. Mm-hmm.
So that is where they have all failed. That is where they have all failed. If you look at an example, like if we had, like when they go and borrow $50 million or $200 million, why don't you even say $25 million should be equipment for development or school computers for children? But they want the cash before whoever is signing the check to get to the final destination is like maybe a quarter of what was borrowed from the International Monetary Fund. So African leaders have missed their point, but the young people of Africa will not go the same route. The unfortunate thing is they were doing this and most of the young people were looking. People did not want to get involved. But the example of Burkina Faso, Senegal, Chad, and all these other Sahel countries has now wake up every African. I even saw 2 days ago the guy who is ruling in Gabon. He was on the street on Christmas Day, talking and greeting the people and having a good time with the people. He is also learning from these young African leaders because he understands that the people put you there, the people only is the only reason is because of the people. If the people are not there, you do not have any point. When we take an example of our own, so our own neighboring country called La Republic, can anybody in Yaoundé give us the last time they saw any person in Yaoundé, the last time they saw their own president, even giving a news conference or going to church or somewhere in town? Somebody that they see twice a year on TV, New Year's Day and 11 February. Those are the only 2 days they see their guy on TV. So how can a country grow with such a mentality? And I see young people who might make that mistake this 2025 to go take the crumbs. I was talking to some guy last week about this 2025. If you look at what is going on in neighboring La Republic, and they're even trying to do that in Amazonia, is you will see 1 million contractors. You will see 1 million projects that they will say they have earmarked, we already have feasibility studies. They use all this sounding nothing language to cajole the people to tell them, oh, we're about to tie the road from here to here. We're about to do this. This is going to end after the day that they will announce for the election. After that day, you don't hear about it. 7 years later, we're talking about it.
Chairman Patrick, but I mean, if there's somebody in that country who can still be deceived with such gimmicks, then your head is in the sand. Because at this point, people should know. They should know the game by now. That's what they always do. So if someone can still allow himself or herself to be manipulated with such gimmicks, then I don't know what to make of you. You see, one thing I would like for us to transition to is La République du Cameroon is I should say is the worst country on earth right now in terms of governance. I believe they are the worst country on earth in terms of governance because not only is the government bad, the government does not exist. There is no government in that godforsaken place. The lamentations from the bishops recently should tell us exactly what is happening there. There is no government in La République du Cameroon. They are just free floating. They are free floating, and they are at the mercy of the waves or the current or whatever. they are being blown around, and wherever it will crash, so be it. But as for us Brazilians, we have
Chairman Mike, one thing about that lamentation by the bishops, there are two things that are going to happen. There will be, they are going to go mute in a few weeks or a few months because La Republic understand the voice of the clergy. They saw the example of Archbishop Desmond Tutu with apartheid in South Africa. They understand that if the clergies in La Republic, they come up and speak, the people will listen. So the only thing they are going to do, they are going to financially shut them up, or they are going to enact some laws. I read this point. I was listening to something from Meme Milford that the Pentecostal, whoever the Pentecostal guy is, said he does not want any of their church leaders to say anything political. That is the beginning. They are going to shut all of them down and make sure they do not say anything because they know the people are listening to them.
You see, the final statement, I think it was made today or something. I think the conference, the bishops' conference ended today or something. And I read something which they wrote that the bishops called on their citizens to not to lose hope, amidst the rising hardship, corruption, and poor governance. They know that these things exist. They know there's hardship, they know there's misery, they know there's poor governance, but they're saying the people should not lose hope. They shouldn't lose hope. What should they do? What should the people do? What is the alternative? That is not enough from these people. I know that there must have been word from the La Republic of Cameroon government after the first bishops criticized them openly. They must have sent them word to be careful. And of course, these bishops know what has happened to others who spoke out. They were eliminated. Because La Republic does not play. They will kill the bishops, they kill pastors. They don't care. They will kill anybody who speaks out. So when the first ones came out with the lamentations, I'm sure La Republic de Cameroon sent them a warning that be careful. Don't stray too far because we'll come after you. So I'm sure they got the message, and that is why you see the final statement they made at the end of the day here is kind of lame. It is not pointing a finger at anybody. This is not what they should be doing. They are men of God. They should be able to call it as they see it. But that's not what we're seeing there. So first of all, it is their country. Let them manage it as they see fit. Let us focus on what is affecting our struggle and talk about what is affecting our liberation movement. Chairman Patrick, we have seen several initiatives and efforts at restructuring of the Ambazonian liberation movement. There are several efforts out there, several initiatives. We have seen, I think there's a consultative initiative led by the consultative commission. It's been going on for almost 2 years now. We have seen people talking about reconciliation, and even recently there are some talking about communities remobilizing and coming up with a system where people can take part in the liberation movement through their communities. These are all good initiatives. These are all good ideas. Let me put it that way. And of course, the oldest of these initiatives is that which is led by the Consultative Commission, which has several. It has already accomplished several of the initiatives that were outlined when this thing was conceived by our international partners here in the United States. So we had, I think they had several meetings. They had a training session on how to bring people together and coordinate and make sure that all the voices within the movement are speaking in unison. and that all this fragmentation that was happening within our movement is healed. So they have done a lot. They have written a lot of reports and published them. They've held some town hall meetings, explained what is going on, and I think coming up soon will be a summit of the leaders, a leadership summit that is going to, I think it's going to take place not long from now, maybe later this month or next month. The leadership summit will take place where the leaders will now come together and put their heads together to plan for an all amber conference, an all ambassador conference. And uh, what I will be hoping for and would like to see is that the various initiatives that are going on at this time, the various ideas, because people have their ideas on what they think the path to our liberation ought to be at this time. What I'm going to say here is that whatever idea you have, all ideas are welcome. But I think the time has passed when people come up with ideas and they just think that they have to impose it on the people. On the contrary, if people have ideas which are good, it is a good thing. It is a good thing that you take part in one of these in the All Amber Conference. Put your ideas on the floor. Let the General Assembly of the Ambazonian people examine your idea and see if there's something that can be taken and maybe modified, refined, and then adopted and used for the cause of our liberation. But we should not get into this idea that just because I have an idea, it should just be the law. Just because I have an idea, it should be the way to go, and nobody should question it. We have to get out of that mentality. We have to learn to exchange ideas, debate based on facts and what is best for Ambazonia. And the best idea should take pride of the day. I don't know what you think about this, Chairman Patrick, but I think this is how we should be reasoning from now on. All ideas should be allowed to be debated, and then the best ideas should be adopted and used for the cause of our liberation. That's how I think it should be done. What do you think, Chairman Patrick?
Well, I think
Got Daniel on the phone and asked me to come in.
Yes, I think maybe Chairman Patrick is a bit distracted right now. As I was saying, we've had these efforts being going on in various fora. We have the consultative initiative. We have, I think, there's reconciliation. Reconciliation is a good thing if it is managed well, because in order for a house to be healthy, people need to be able to talk to each other and talk to each other in using a language that is commensurate amongst a family. Not that where you sit in order to exchange ideas, you start insulting each other. Then nothing is exchanged, because you all live with bitterness because you insult me, I insult you, and at the end of the day, nobody wins. We have to get out of that mentality. You have to get out of that mentality. Understand that the best debates are those that are focused on ideas. The best debates are those that are focused on ideas. If you think you have a better idea, put it on the table. Allow me to also put my own idea on the table. Don't put your own idea on the table and then tell me that I'm not supposed to speak. Then that's not a debate. So we have to allow those ideas to be expressed and let the best idea take the pride of the day. Let the best idea at the end of the day be adopted and used. And when the best idea is adopted, everybody should be able to rally around that idea and make sure it works. I think that should be the way we're going forward. That should be the way we should conduct ourselves going forward. Not this idea where somebody comes up with an idea, he just says, you must do this one. Let's just do it this way. Let's just do it this way. without allowing for the examination of that idea to see whether it is the best and that it will serve us, serve Ambazonian best at a given moment. When you do that, you allow for the lack of scrutiny, and then you allow for loopholes that can then be exploited by the enemy and used against us. We must make sure that at this point we examine everything, turn it over, look to see that everything is okay before we adopt it and rally around it and use it for our cause. So that is what I think. And for those of us who are watching on Facebook, if you have a comment, an idea that you want to share, please post it so that I can read it, or so others. Maybe you have a contrary idea or to what I'm saying here. If you have something like that, if you want to have something to share, please type it here. I'll read it so we can make it lively. But like I'm saying, like what I'm saying, the Consultative Commission has held a number of meetings with Ambazonians. We've heard a lot of Zoom meetings, where they've heard a lot of town hall meetings to explain exactly how we can all come together and then have several meetings that will culminate. These meetings will culminate in an all Ambazonia conference, where all Ambazonians will come together, put their heads together. If it means changing the structure of how this struggle has been managed going forward, let the people decide. Whatever the people decide, that should be the way to go. But we should avoid this situation where some individuals feel like they can impose their will on others, or they take upon themselves as being the almighty leader where nobody is supposed to question them. No, that's not the way it's supposed to be. The power, meaningful power, must come from the people. It must come from the people, and based on performance. You must be able to earn it. You have to be able to earn it. So that is what I think. I don't see any comment coming in here yet. So if you have a statement to make on this matter, or any other issue that you think is of value to advance the cause of the liberation of the Southern Cameroons, please share it. I think that was the last topic of our discussion today. Again, we talked about our fighters, the great job they are doing on the ground, defending our territory. We continue to encourage them. But the only thing we will caution them is, please, our brave fighters on the ground, when you are doing your job or defending the territory, please, your priority is to defend the lives and dignity of our civilian population. Do everything you can to make sure that our civilian population is protected. You must not, I insist, you must not engage in any activity that will put the lives of any of our civilians in danger, especially if it is willfully, if you're doing it willfully. That must not be the case. They must be protected. That's the priority. That is the reason you took up stakes to protect them. You are not there to protect yourselves, but to protect our civilian population. So that should be your number one priority. And then once they are protected, go after the enemy. That is your job. That is your job. And it should be your focus. We cannot play with that. Now, the second topic we talked about was the chaos that is going on in La Republic Cameroon, the lack of leadership, what is going on there, where they are now being led by a brainless Chantabia who does not know a damn thing about how to lead a country. But the lives of La Republic Cameroon are in their hands, and that is why you see the place falling apart, because Pobia is just not there. He may be there physically, but the brain is all gone. Now, we also talked about the upcoming leaders that are setting a good example for Africa. And that gives us hope that in the days ahead, we may see others emulating their example, and gradually we'll be phasing out this old, sit tight, unproductive leaders that have rendered Africa a laughing stock around the world. Hopefully, the likes of Captain Traore will come in with a big broom and help to sweep out these old sit tight people who do nothing but disgrace us wherever they go. Like Paul Biya,
Yeah,
wherever
you
he
can
goes,
give the statement tomorrow.
passing gas, he's confused, doesn't know a damn thing, he's incoherent, and he pisses in his pants. We are tired of all that. We don't want to be disgraced anymore. So, and then of course we are talking about Amazonians restructuring our liberation movement, making sure that we come up with better structures that would deliver on the objective of liberating our people and giving them a better living standard. So I don't know, Chairman Patrick, if you are there, I'd like for you to come in and maybe give your final statements before you leave. I know you're a little bit busy there. We can have a minute to give your final statements before we close the show for today. Chairman Patrick, are you there?
Oh, yes, Chairman Mike, again, thank you so much. I know, like I said before, when it comes to Ambazonia, I always try to sacrifice as much as possible. So my
Very much.
distraction, I know I'm still at work trying to catch up with one or two things. So people were coming in and talking to me. But one thing I'm going to say, we have taken this fight for 9 years. And every Ambazonian should have a moment to reflect on their own conscience, to evaluate what are you doing to move things forward. We have talked about the fact that Ambazonians need to come together. The consultative group, they've done so much, but we have seen certain Ambazonians who have decided that they have the best group, they have the best solution, but they are not moving an inch. But they do not want to join hands, join their brains with other Ambazonians to see that we all come together. I am an Ambazonian. I will never put my ego above this Ambazonian country. I want to be part of the winning team. I want to be part of the people that think alike, but have rules that we have to respect. I saw in the consultative or one of the reconciliation groups today, they talked about Dr. Masanga, who is somebody who has dedicated every bit of his time to help Amazonians. And he is willing to meet with all the leaders of Amazonia. And I hope and I wish that every Amazonian leader will give his ears to this guy to talk. We have all made mistakes. Ambazonians should understand that making a mistake is not the end of life. Making a mistake and learning from it is what makes somebody a stronger person. If we go back, we can blame everybody for why we are divided. We can blame everybody for why we are not moving forward. But the question is, what are you doing about it? I have my principles as somebody who always want to learn from my mistakes. If somebody say you've made a mistake, I'll say, okay, next time I'm going to do it the other way so that I do not have to have the same blame. We have made all these mistakes. It's a moment for Ambazonians to all question their conscience and say, we want to get together. We want to go together and talk to each other, forgive each other, because we are intelligent people, but we have not demonstrated that intelligence in this revolution. We have not shown the world that we can all disagree, but we can still agree for the sake of Amazonia. So it's a moment for everybody to take that at heart and say, I want to go back. I want to talk to my brother. I want to call the person I quarreled with last week. I want to talk to the person that we disagreed last month and say it's a moment for us to come together. We saw it. When we were together, we were able to raise $500,000 in one night. But we have disintegrated the whole structure, and we are not able to raise $50,000 in one night. Are we not mature, intelligent enough to say it's a moment for us to come together? So it's a moment for every ambassador to think, I am ready, willing to work with whoever is going to come with the right solution, the right idea, the willingness to forgive and forget and move forward for the sake of Amazonia. Thank you, Chairman Mike.
Thank you, Chairman Patrick. Thank you for coming on. It was a pleasure having you as usual. Yes, while you were leaving, as you mentioned about Dr. Masanga, we met. I think we had a meeting with him over the weekend. He is the person who took upon himself. No ambassador sponsored him. He took upon himself to file a case against Paul at the ICC, and the file has been admitted and is being examined. So there's a case against Paul filed by Dr. Masanga, and it's not like it's not his first rodeo. He's done it before. He knows what he's doing, and he knows how to prepare the paperwork that will have an impact. So let's just sit tight and see what comes out of it. But like you said, let's give him the encouragement, the support. Unlike some people who come out and want to castigate castigate him instead. If somebody's doing doing something to help you, even if he's making a mistake, it is your job to at least acknowledge what he is doing, and if he's making a mistake, you point it out to him so he can do it better. That's the attitude we ought to have. This thing about us always throwing mud around, we should get away from it. It's not serving anybody. It's not serving our interests. Then this, as you mentioned about us, the importance of us coming together. I believe that when we come together, whenever we come together, even those who passionately may talk against each other, when you finally get them into the when you finally get them into the same room, that animosity goes away. That is what I've noticed. When you finally get people into the same room, you realize that they are able to talk with each other, and that animosity that you thought that when you see them on social media and the anger or the expressions that are out there, you think that when these people meet each other, they will be at each other's throat. But you put them in the same house, and all of a sudden they start smiling with each other and shaking hands. That is why personally I believe that the scheduling of this All Amber Conference is very, very important, because one, when you put ambassadors in the same room, when you put them in the same room, they will do the right thing. One thing that is a double-edged sword in this struggle is this social media. It has helped us a lot to spread our message, and it has also given the space for saboteurs and people to be those who want to spoil our movement, to come in with all kinds of terrible things to damage the reputation of others, and to always be out there throwing things that will cause Ambazonians to be at each other's throat. And the enemy too, like Cameroon, is now sponsoring saboteurs to come into our various fora and always throwing things that will cause us to be arguing on useless things. And we ought to be able to identify these people and kick them out and resist following such traps that only cause us to be spinning on the same spot. So social media, as I've said, is a double-edged sword. It has helped us a lot to spread our message, but it has also been very damaging, because some people have used it to throw, first of all, false accusations or slander against others that are not based on fact. So we have to be able to clean ourselves of these negative tendencies and focus only on those things that will help to advance the cause of our liberation. And if we do that, like I said before, this 2025 can bring us some really meaningful changes that can push us in the right direction to get our freedom. So, fellow Ambazonians, I want to really thank you for for tuning in today and for being part of the show. Again, like I said earlier, we've not been very regular. Towards the end of last year, we're trying to do better to make sure we are always here to give you more information and the latest happenings in our struggle, and to bring you useful information not only within Amazonia but even around the world that can help to educate us and lead us to the right path when it comes to our freedom. So thank you all for being here with me today. As I would like to say, please let us resist those negative tendencies that the enemy is trying to push at us to be fighting with each other. Let's hold hands, plan together, strategize together, and make sure we get our country. So take good care of yourselves. And when you do that, please take care of each other. And with that, the war zone is out. Good night.